Guys, I'm trying to get this all set up. I would like to apologize up front. I know that the lighting is going to be bad because it is that point in the day where the sun is at a weird angle and it's bouncing off of stuff. But I do listen to you guys, the subscribers. I know that a lot of you have said you wanted another live sharpening video. I just have not had a lot of time to do it. There's a couple of different reasons. My mom's in town. I've had other stuff going on. It's been interesting. What's up, Chase? But I am in the process. I don't know if some of you guys caught the end of my Instagram live feed. I am in the process of sharpening a Laconico Yorkie for a customer. It has some issues. There's a really, really low spot right at the very tip on this. Yes, I basically stopped. I went and I talked to my mom for a minute. And that's the actual angle, but there's a spot on the show scale where the tip is, or I'm sorry, on the lock scale where the tip is kind of rounded over. So this isn't something that someone did. I believe that this edge is exactly what it's supposed to be, and that's what I was talking about in the Instagram feed, because that's just the angle. If you keep it nice and flat, that's the angle you're gonna get. And that's reminds me a lot of, like I was saying, is she's right there. This edge, where they didn't do much of a distal taper, you have a stronger tip, and to account for that, they just took more material off on that bevel as it comes up. It's really hard to see, lighting's bad, but I am sharpening that. Now, I do have something to say to everybody that's sending me things. I have a bunch of knives in there that have no notes. If it didn't come with a note, I'm completely done with this whole have to track down customers. Your knife will sit until you contact me. So if you haven't heard anything from me or your knife hasn't showed up, you may want to reach out and say, hey, what's going on? And then I'm going to tell you. I don't know what to do with it because you didn't put a note in. And there's people that keep telling me, it's like, do a form and then they can print it out. That sounds like a lot more work than it needs to be, because I'm only asking for a few things when I ask for these notes. Your name, your phone number, your return address, and exactly what you want done. You can do it on a sticky note. People put it on wrap their things up in an envelope with the stuff written on it. But if you don't include the note, I don't know what to start working on. Now, yeah, could I make an internet form that you have to print out and send back and everything? I was like, but a lot of times, guys, it's as simple as this. I have a lot of customers do this and it works out beautifully. People are like, well, you could just email them. Have you looked at how people's emails are formatted? Funky76daddy at gmail.com. Well, Ray, I didn't know that was your email address. I didn't know that was your name. You know, whoever, whatever your name is, most email addresses are not people's. Let's look at mine. I use it because it's got the best filters. Gunmonkey1974 at gmail.com. Now, I have emails that have my name in them, but they get filled up with spam pretty easy. My Gmail account doesn't really get filled up with spam too much, so I get it. But all I'm asking is just a fucking note in the box will alleviate all this. I got several knives that are just gonna sit. I got one that doesn't even have a return address on the box. Like, it didn't have an address. It came, had 2 packages that showed up that were either UPS or FedEx. I can't remember which it was. Anyway, that label does not have a return address on it. So I can't even send it back. No note, no return address, no nothing. Now, one of them is a customer that's been a customer for a very long time. I knew exactly who it is. I marked it. I've got a return address. It's not that hard for me to get in touch with that person. Guys, this is the 5th knife I've sharpened this morning. I started early. I got some caffeine into me. I went and did. I mean, I'm not gonna keep their knife, but that's my brother. I believe that's my brother-in-law. I think that was my brother-in-law. Yep, that's my brother-in-law. So, you know, do I want to do a big form and stuff for these people? No. Because then that makes it more difficult for you guys. I like it being simple. It's not that hard. You just put a note. In everyone. No idea what just beeped. So in every one of those, if you get a hold of me and say you need sharpening, you get delivered a link to a video for you to watch that lays out exactly what I need from you as a customer. And I mean, if I have time, yes, if I have time, I'll definitely try to track you down and get a hold of you and things like that and say, hey, you know, you didn't put a note. What exactly are we doing with this? Or I'll try to find the original email. Guys, no joke. You think I'm joking? My inbox right now has got a red fucking dot on it that says that I have 6,000 emails. 6,000 unread emails. Makes you think I'll be able to find you. That's between 4 different email addresses, but still. Most of them are just junk mail. They're not in my actual business mail. The only email that I truly check on a real regular basis is the Gmail account for the business. The other stuff, a lot of it's just junk mail, stuff like that. Neves Knives, how's it going, sir? So that you guys do know, myself, Nico, Ashton, who's another knife guy on, I believe he's still going, is another knife guy on YouTube. Chris and Elliot, we will all be at Portland. Yeah, it feels like it's XHP. It's cutting like XHP. Right now I'm trying to do, it's such a fine finished, it's such a fine satin on this. I'm trying not to use a very coarse stone because the coarse stones, that's a 250. This really coarse 80 grit, it comes apart. And what happens is, as it builds a slurry, you get scratch pattern behind you want to keep that bevel nice and crisp, especially on something that's satin like this. And what happens is you can get a scratch pattern that trails behind because the grit on that is so big that it makes a slurry and starts to come unbound. And it will scratch beyond where you want it. So my back really hurts today, guys. We're gonna feel this out and see how well this plays out. My back hurts like bad today, like enough that I'm not using my stool. Like I'm standing next to it. So this Yorkie, initially, I think the customer told me he thought somebody had screwed up the sharpening on this, and I honestly do not think so. I think it was made this way, but we're starting to even it. GF. Griffin got an exemption from a command NSU day. What branch of service you in? Who is that? Is that somebody I know? Oh, these stones are starting to load. It definitely is XHP. I may switch to, we'll see, this stone is still cutting, but XHP has a tendency to load these diamond matrix stones a little bit, and I can see it loading. So some steels. Oh, okay. Now I know. Now I know who you are. Now I can even picture your face now. Okay. We actually met with the Bally guys first, didn't we? Out in the at the first night of the Cove, Thursday night, with the guy that looked like a mini Bodiger. I am going to do another Balzano or Blazano or Paul or Paula or Paulo or whatever the fuck you want to call him. I'm gonna do a video because guess what? It's a custom. It's a custom. It's a custom Yorkie in XHP, and it's got that typical. Just talking about you, Ashton. How did the interview goes? How did the interviews go? It feels like XHP. It's cutting like XHP. It's loading these stones like XHP usually does. Yeah, that's the Mars Knife Muppet. Yes. So the reason I'm doing a video is because this month marks 1 year from his last update on that Kickstarter project. Some of the Bally guys saw the, oh, I thought you already had the second one. Some of the Bally guys saw he was getting involved in the Bally community, and they reached out to other people, and they found one of my posts like, hey, can we post this up to warn people about this dude? And I was like, absolutely. And so I went back through and looked at the Kickstarter, and the last update was September of 2018. So I imagine it's time for me to revisit for 2019 and just let everybody know what a piece of shit he is. Because he came out and told the guys in the Valley, he's like, oh, I'm behind. Yeah, I'm behind, but I've been delivering in batches for like 8 months. And I went back. And 2 weeks ago, a guy commented in the comments section, was like, hey, are we ever getting our knives? Is anybody getting anything? And people are like, everybody's like, no one's said anything. He won't issue a refund. He's got $30,000 of people's money that he just has walked away with. And now he's starting to get into other avenues of spending your money and not providing. He was supposed to make 6 balisongs for PVK in Vegas. He delivered 3, and they paid him the full $1,200 that he requested for the 6, and never provided them with the other 3. He started making Bally's when he should be making Mars knives. No one that gave to that Kickstarter has received a single knife. Not a single knife. Paulo Blazano. And so I just personally hate fucking thieves. And so I have personally, myself and another guy on Instagram named Flippin' Bean, we have been posting anything we can. Anytime we find information that's like, hey, this is happening and this is happening, but still is not the Mars knife, we call him out on it. So it's about time for my annual Blazano review. Sorry guys, I'm concentrating. This knife has got some weird, sort of. Go find him. Just don't comment, because he won't respond to comments. All he does is block you. He blocked me just because I was like, hey bro, you want to answer some of these questions just to, you know, maybe pull your name out of the toilet. He's like, I don't have to fucking answer anything to anybody. Da, 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 da. Obviously, you're just a fucking hater and a piece of shit, and block me. Now, I've been known to block people on a regular, but not for asking an honest question. You've got to be doing something abusive. And I was trying not to be abusive because I know that he loves to block people. I got to go back down a stone. I have to. Actually, I'm going to have to go to this one. I'm having a problem where my bevels are not, the bevels on this one side are not even, because somebody really went to town on it with a diamond stone and has a low spot. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to even these bevels out a little. Didn't want to because I was up pretty far. It is a Laconico Yorkie. I'm just going to steepen that up there and level the other side off, because somebody, whoever did it, rounded the tip off pretty well on one side, and I'm having to account for that and kick it back over. So I thought I could do it on this. I'll do it on this, but I'm not going to do it on that other diamond matrix stone, the really coarse one, because, like I said, it has a tendency to come apart and then you get a scratch pattern behind. The Lion Steel M4, the model in M390. Why is that not ringing any bells? All right, I am gonna fix this. M4 steel. I'm lowering y'all down. I had to sit down, my back hurts. I'm not sure how this day's gonna pan out, really. Guys, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. I can't deal with this. I'm just not doing live feeds anymore. This is fucking turning into bullshit. Until they fucking figure out what's wrong with my Wi-Fi, I'm done doing live feeds. I'll do a video. I'll put up a video later today. I'll talk to you guys later. This is really fucking pissing me off. There's no fucking reason why, with 2 different routers and 4 different networks, that I should not be able to do a live feed from my own fucking kitchen or right out there in the yard. I'll see you guys later.